Anyways, getting back to the video, this is Doctor Doom versus Yancey Street. One of the most epic beefs I've ever read in comics. It's hilarious, and of course, Doctor Doom's an icon in this channel. So I'm going to go ahead and make this video. Again, if you didn't know, the Beef series is a series where I cover a beef between character or characters in a story arc, and go over the epic nature of the story, and go over who I think wins at the end. With that, I hope you guys enjoy. If you haven't subscribed, do so already. Without further ado, let's begin. Alright, this story and beef takes place in Fantastic Four 361, a Christmas special, one of the best comics ever. And it starts out the story with called The Miracle on Yancey Street. And we see Ben Grimm being put in a device, this massive like clamp on his arm. We find out that this Christmas Eve he's dealing with a broken arm, and Reed Richards is actually observing Ben Grimm to make sure that his new anatomy, which of course, you know, changed from the space incident, he's got to make sure that the bones reset properly and all that. And then Ben Grimm is put into a cast, and we see Ben's like, dude, this is bullshit to have to deal with on Christmas Eve. And then we see this random guy show up in the lobby of the Baxter building. He's mad nervous. He's like, yo. He's talking to himself. He's like, I don't know if he'll remember me. All this, and we get the sense that he's nervous about what's going on. This is when, at this point, the receptionist goes, yo, Ben, you got someone looking to talk to you. And Ben's like, dude, damn that. Tell him to kiss my ass. My arm's broken. It's Christmas Eve. This is bullshit. I just want to go home. And she's like, oh, well, he said he knows you from your childhood. And Ben's like, oh, really? Because, you know, Yancey Street for life, bitch. And she goes, yeah, Slugkowski. He goes, oh, shit. Slugger's here. Goes and daps up his homie. W in the chat for childhood lore. Things like this. I love this in comics when characters just get the little things in their background that really flesh out their character. And this is one of those things for Ben Grimm that makes him amazing. See Slugkowski, he's like, yo, Slugger, what's good, my boy? Daps him up. He's like, bro, Yancey for life, all this. Let's go get a beer. They go get a beer, turn up, they're happy, right? And this is when eventually it leads to Slugger going, yo, Ben, I'm going to be honest. My son Jimmy fell to the streets. And Ben's like, that's cool, bro. You know, we weren't perfect in our childhood. And he's like, I know that, but Jimmy, like, really fell into drugs, I think, and shit like that. And he's disappeared in the streets. I don't know where he is. I just want my son back. Ben Grimm's like, damn, bro. Like, that sucks. And Slugger's like, yo, for the one time, can you rescue my son, bro? Like, you're a hero to all the kids from Yancey Street, because you're the one that symbolizes making it out the hood. Like, we love you, all that. Just, can you bring my son back? And Ben Grimm's like, fuck it, I'll do what I can. It then pans over to us seeing what happened to little Jimmy. Jimmy was making a move. He saw he was being followed by some strange disguised men and was like, damn, narcs. Ducks into an alley, runs into both of them, gets taken. This was witnessed by a character that will be talked about in a little bit. Story leaves from here and pans over to Johnny Storm in the Baxter building. If you didn't know, Johnny Storm did at one point have a thing with Alicia, even was married to her. But that was like an alien version of her. It's really fucking complicated. But long story short, him and Alicia aren't together. And so he's kind of coping with this. He's sad. And he stumbles upon little Franklin Richards. W in the live chat for Franklin Richard fans. He makes an appearance. He's trying to carry a bag of decorations. Johnny's like, what are you doing? He's like, bro, I'm trying to decorate this place. And Johnny's like, why? He's like, because it's sad as hell, bitch. He's like, yo, my uncle's arm is broken. You know, Uncle Ben's arm's broken. My parents are sad and confused. You just lost your girl. Like, it's real dim around here. We need to cheer up. And Johnny was like, you know what? Facts, Big Frankie. I'm going to help you out. Gives him a hug. And it's, you know, it's a nice little piece of the story. Next, we go to pan over to Ben, right? Ben Grimm is in the hood. He's in the trenches back on Yancey Street, looking to recover his homie's son, Jimmy. As Ben's walking, he's like, damn, I haven't been here in a minute. You know, it's just crazy, all the work I used to put in, all that. Suddenly gets hit by a snowball. And he sees this kid go, yo, fuck you, Ben Grimm. You're a bitch. No one wants you around here. Yancey gang for life. And Ben Grimm's like, oh my god, I can't believe this shithead gang is back. And he proceeds to take off after the Yancey Street gang kid that just struck him. When he makes it to the alley, he slips and falls and immediately starts getting clowned in this really intricate fashion by a kid that's soon introduced as Dictionary Dawson. So I'm going to go ahead and break down this generation of the members of the Yancey Street Gang, because this was a new version of the gang to Ben Grimm as well. So Dictionary Dawson is a black kid with a high top fade, usually wears the green coat, and he drops straight intricate bars, dog. It's hilarious. He was like, I do believe you are sloppy and you lack the type of balance to, you know, make it this far. Like, he just talks in a fancy way that drives Ben Grimm nuts. And he calls him like a walking thesaurus, all that, but his nickname is Dictionary Dawson. We then have Smooth Manny. Smooth Manny is known for like breaking locks and stuff. Smooth also dresses like Michael Jackson, low-key. He's hella swaggy with it. We have Two-Fisted Tommy Boyd, who will ride for a homicide. That's the child. I think it's actually a girl. If not, it's a young boy. It's kind of hard to tell. And Thing does call Two-Fist a lady, so, you know, probably is a girl. And it's the one that threw the snowball at Ben Grimm. So we know that she's about it. Then we have Lug, who can basically steal any car and says, like, if you need a getaway vehicle, he's the man. We have Big Dog Larry Lee, who is the big kid for the group. Basically the muscle if something goes down. And lastly, we have Rhythm, right? Rhythm doesn't really talk and was the witness to Jimmy getting snatched, because Ben Grimm goes, yo, I just want information on this kid named Jimmy, and he noticed them get a little uncomfortable, and he's like, what do y'all know? And they're like, yo, Rhythm saw Jimmy get snatched. We're actually about to go slide on whatever bitches took him. Like, they're done with. And he was like, wait, how do we know Rhythm knows that? Like, how do we know Ben Grimm basically accuses Rhythm of being retarded, right? He's like, you that's what you are. He said, I forget the way he phrased it, like several screws short of something. It was weird. It was like some old timer ways, but you know they were pretty brutal back in the day for Marvel. Wouldn't be said in the current time, but they're like, yo, relax. There's nothing, you know, he's not special needs or anything. He's not autistic or anything like that. He literally just took like this weird, basically semi-vow of silence ever since, you know, what happened to the tragedy with his sister. And Ben Grimm's like, oh shit, he's not special needs, he's not, you know, a few whatever, his sister died. And they're like, nah, his sister became a cop. They're like, yo, he's so shamed by her becoming a cop that he's taking a semi-vow of silence. And Thing realizes at that point he's dealing with straight real ones. And they're like, yo, we're going to slide on them. And he's like, what about me? And they're like, yo, you can keep up if you think you can, but we're getting our shit and we're sliding. So they pull off, right? And they're going to go fight whoever took Jimmy. When they arrive to the spot, Dictionary Dawson's like, oh shit, I do believe we have arrived at the destination we previously discussed and extrapolated upon our mission. I think, you know, at this current juncture, we should make moves. He's saying crazy shit, right? And Ben's like, dude, shut your mouth. Like, I don't know why you're so smart. Literally for no reason. I don't know. Why are you in a gang if you're that smart? And then he's like, all right, kids, y'all stay here. I need to go do my superhero shit and get the kid back. And that's when we see Lug go like, dude, kiss our ass. Like, we're a gang. Like, we're going to get our boy back. We don't care what you do. And at that point, Larry Lee's like, yo, this is our neighborhood. Don't get it twisted. We slide regardless. And Ben's like, damn, I respect that. And then Smooth Manny quickly hits the lock and is like, yeah, I can easily finesse this. Quickly undoes it. And they break in to the location, right? At this point, we see they got in. It's some kind of lab. The strangers that took Jimmy confront them. They start brawling. No questions asked, right? They're like, yeah, this shit's about to go down. But Ben Grimm gets hit first. And Two-Fist Tommy's like, yo, why did you let yourself get hit first? And he's like, I like my ops to swing first because when they swing first, I can see what they're made of, and this dude don't hit hard enough, bitch. And he swings back, folds the stranger. Turns out to be a robot. He's like, oh shit, we're fighting robots. The kids don't care. They're scrapping these robots anyway, as we realize they're doombots. And as they're brawling with them, we see this kid is in another location strapped to a table, and it's obviously Jimmy. He's yelling for help, and someone's saying, nah, bitch, no one's gonna help you. And as they finish off the bots, Lug says the shit they were dealing with is like OD. He's like, yo, whoever made these robots is tripping because they're way too sophisticated for the hood. Like, I don't know. I don't know why the hood's dealing with this. And sorry, hairball. Ben Grimm's like, yeah, this is definitely a sign of trouble. Like, this shit's rough. Tommy is accused at that point by Dictionary Dawson, who's like, based on the current data we have measured and discussed, you are most likely a fan of Ben Grimm now. And Tommy's like, yo, kiss my ass. I'm not a Ben Grimm fan. He's still an op, all that. But it's clear Ben's getting their respect for the work he's putting in right now. And then, again, the group is confused as to who they're possibly dealing with, who they're beefing with. And at this point, we see Manny go, yo, like, who would even pay for this? Like, this is expensive as shit for someone to do in the hood. And that's when Ben Grimm gets blasted and shot. Hit the like button if you haven't already. It's getting crazy. As we see the person who shot him is none other than Dr. Doom. Doom's like, yo, I ain't even gonna lie. Y'all are straight up peasants. And I'm about to smoke Yancey packs, bitch. And the beef is real. As Grimm gets up, he's like, yo, kids, y'all gotta get out of here. And the kids are like, damn that. Lug's like, yo, why would we leave you? Like, we're not gonna leave you behind. That shit is crazy. No, actually, it wasn't Lug. It was Manny that said it. He's like, yeah, we can't leave you behind. And that's when we see little Two-Fisted Tommy. It's a legendary line. Go, our colors don't run. Keep in mind, these are literal children with no powers willingly beefing with Dr. Doom for their respect on the block. They don't run from shit. That is W's in the chat. That's crazy. Like, who? No one steps harder than the Yancey Street Gang. I'm sorry. That's crazy. And they elect to stay there for the beef as Ben asks Doom why he's there. What's he doing with, like, the drug business and all that. And Doom's like, don't accuse me of being involved with such peasant activities, like selling drugs. Like, that's poor people shit. I don't sell drugs. I run a fucking country. Like, that's ridiculous. And he's like, that is so beneath me. And he pulls the Glock out and starts blasting away at Ben. This shootout is interrupted by Larry Lee. Big Larry picks up some scrap metal, hits Doom with it, and knocks the gun away and says, yo, he might be a bitch, but that's our bitch. You don't shoot at Ben Grimm. You're beefing with the gang now. And Doom turns around and is like, oh my god, I can't believe kids are really pulling up on me. And this is when we see Doom go, fuck them kids. And he's like, you think I need the Glock to battle? I was just doing that to troll. I don't need it when I'm power incarnate. starts blasting away at the children. Oh no, the kids are in jeopardy. Doom doesn't give a shit. And luckily, these kids know how to get out the way and run off on the plug. They get out of the way of danger, and they manage to not take any damage. And we see, as they scramble away, Doom's like, yeah, bitch, like, y'all are lucky you're kids, and I don't really beef with kids, because I could have used my full power and taken you out. Ben pulls up on Doom and is like, yo, fight someone that's on your power level. Doom's like, how am I going to do that right now? I don't see anyone that's on my level, bitch. And the two start brawling. The brawl, unfortunately for Ben Grimm, does not go his way, as Doom does take the advantage. Keep in mind, though, Ben is dealing with the broken arm. So it's basically one-limbed versus prepped Doom. And we find out what Doom was doing. Doom is like, yo, I was trying to cure drug addiction and like fix it in a worldwide sense because I'm goated. But he soon realized that it was a complicated issue and wasn't that simple. And he was using Yancey Street kids and Yancey Street goons because he was like, no one cares if these poor people go missing and die. I'm like, oh my god, Doom, you can't say that. But of course, cancel Doom in the live chat. F in the comment section. But he's like, yeah, of course. I mean, Doom should be canceled basically every time he appears. But he was like, yeah, I was using them because who cares about them? And Ben's like, you can't do that. That shit's crazy. And Ben's like, yo, let's finish this fight. But Doom's like, nah, bitch. I'll finish you when you reach the peak of your power so I can humiliate you the most. And Doom decides to dip. We see the kids were actually ready to jump him, but they see Doom literally opts to leave. No funny shit, just leaves. He's like, fuck this. I'm not going to cure shit. I don't feel like saving y'all anymore. It's too much work. You're annoying. I'm out, bitch. And he dips. And the kids drop down. And they reveal to Ben Grimm that they found Jimmy. They recovered and saved Jimmy, and he is alive and well. Ben Grimm's like, oh shit, let's go get him to his dad. Plus, we gotta run it. And they're like, why? And he's like, because Doom's not the type to leave evidence. He's definitely gonna blow this bitch up, even if kids are involved. And they dip out of the building. When they get out, sure enough, the building explodes. So yes, Dr. Doom was trying to put kids on a t-shirt. Shit happens in the streets. We see they soon return Jimmy to his father, Slugger. And Ben Grimm's like, yo, I'm glad I got you your boy back. Just remember, Yancey Street for life, my guy. Like, never be worried about come dapping the homie up. I remember where I'm from. I remember my roots. And Slugger's like, for sure. Takes his kid. He's like, I'm going to help my kid get right. All that. Loves his kid. They dip, right? Feel good as shit. We see the gang go up to him. They're like, yo, we used to think you were a bitch, but you stepped like a gangster today. In fact, we'll give you a hood pass. We're not going to beat you up every time you come back now. You're good with us. In fact, Merry Christmas. And they all give Ben Grimm a hug. What a tearjerker. W in the chat down below. But let me insert a major goon moment. They run off after that and they're like, let's go home. It's Christmas Eve. But when they get out of earshot of Ben Grimm, they're like, yo, what a stupid bitch. We really finessed him. He really fell for that. He thought we were friends. And we see they put a kick me sign on him. Not only that, one of them goes, yo, let's really get out of here before he realizes I stole his wallet. We then see the story kind of wrap up with Ben Grimm going back home, walking in pissed off as the Fantastic Four is there along with Alicia. Johnny gives Alicia stuff because Alicia was having a hard time given that an alien literally took her place in life and she fell in love with Johnny. And Johnny's like, look, just move on with your life. Everything's good. All that shit. Alicia's like, oh, that's dope. And then everything's supposed to be cool. But again, Ben Grimm comes in pissed. And Franklin's like, what's wrong? He's like, yo, these kids fucking robbed me. And they put a kick me sign on. Fuck them kids. Like, they ruined my Christmas. And they calm him down. They're like, yo, you're with the fam now. It's all good. Forget about it. And I think it was Sue and Alicia give him a kiss under the mistletoe. And Ben Grimm tells the reader Merry Christmas. That's how this legendary story ends. Now, who do I think wins the beef? There's multiple beefs throughout this story. Main one being residents of Yancey Street and just Yancey Street in general, which would include Ben Grimm versus Dr. Doom. Who do I think wins between those two? That's a tough one. I kind of see it as a draw, but Doom hit the walk-off, which was hilarious. So you let me know in the comment section down below. I'll let the fans decide. I might side slightly with Dr. Doom, but then again, Yancey Street Gang was not afraid to beef with him, which was legendary. So let me know. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been your boy Jobbers and Goons. Anyway, it's been Jobbers and Goons, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.